Hey guys, Wolfitron here. Today we're going to be launching my brand new series called Installing Mmd 932. In this series, I'm going to guide you through a bunch of tutorials on how to install Mmd, fix common errors that you might get during installation, and then how to use it. We're going to go from basics of how to import models into the program and how to put on effects to more complicated things such as creating your own motions. So let's get started. Now, naturally, first thing you're going to want to do is install Mmd. Installing Mmd in particular isn't that hard. The harder part is when you're going to have to troubleshoot the errors. In this video, we're going to be just going over the basic installation, but you're probably going to need to watch a couple of my other videos where we will be going through Mmd errors and how to solve them. Depending on your software system, you're going to have different errors, and they'll all have different solutions. But hopefully my videos can help get the general ones solved. So I am going to be installing Mmd on a Windows 64 Home Edition. And if you have any other computer, then it might work a little differently for you. But if you're installing it in 2021, you're probably already on Windows 10 64-bit. So this tutorial is going to be pretty common for most people. Righto, so the first thing we're going to do is you are going to open your favorite browser, or whichever browser you're watching my video from, and in my description I'm going to leave you a link to this website, learnmmd.com/downloads. Here you are going to scroll until you see the Mmd version you want to get. There's a lot of versions out there, they've all been updated through the years. I recommend getting the latest one because it's 2021 and it's not going to be easier to install the oldest version. Because the only easy peasy version to install is this one, Mmd 739, because this one doesn't really need any of those funny DirectX files that are going to give you problems with the more later versions. But if you get this one, it's kind of ugly. I'm going to download it now just to show you. And the download procedure for the most basic one, this is either if you want to start out, if you have a Windows XP for some reason, which my family actually does have a Windows XP, it's 13 years old, it's terrible. But if you still have Windows XP, or maybe you just want to feel all nostalgic, and you want to use the oldest version of Mmd possible, well then you can download this one. The good thing about this version, you don't need to install any software to it. It works on its own basically. You don't need to have any kind of DirectX, nothing. It's really simple to download and use. However, it's going to be kind of ugly and a little glitchy. And if you want something better for yourself, then I recommend investing a little time and watching my tutorial further. Now, let's get to it. So, if you don't want to use ancient Mmd, which I don't, I'm actually going to delete it now. Now here's the step-by-step of downloading the latest version. First up, you need to ask yourself a question, a very important question. Are you using a 32-bit or a 64-bit computer? Now, if you're, first to understand this, are you using Windows 10? If the answer is no, and you're using anything from Windows XP to Windows 8.1, then you're using 32-bit. This one's not going to work for you. You need a 32-bit Mmd, and you're going to download this one. However, if you're using Windows 10, then chances are you're probably using 64-bit. You can also download 32-bit if you want, but I recommend the 64-bit. Why? Simple reason. Because this 64-bit can use more than 4 gigabytes of RAM on your computer. RAM is, you can look up how much RAM you have in Task Manager. In my case, I have 8 gigabytes. RAM is important because it's random access memory, and random access memory is what your computer uses in order to run applications. In my case, I have like a lot of little programs using up a little bit of my memory, and so it's half full now. Mmd is going to need a lot of memory because it's a resource-intensive program. It's the kind of program that needs a lot of stuff for it because it's 38. So you're going to want to get the 64-bit if it's going to run on your system. Once again, it's only going to run on Windows 10. So if you have anything below that, then 32 bit's your only choice. Now that we've downloaded Mmd 64-bit, or whichever one you picked, we're going to also download a couple of helper programs to help it work. It's not going to run just because you downloaded it. I'm sorry guys, it's sad, but it's true. Now, depending on which program you downloaded, you're going to need either of these three files. You're going to need either this set of three files for the 32-bit, or these three for 64-bit. Yes, even if you have the latest computer, and you think your computer came with DirectX pre-installed, then you're still going to need 2008 and 2010 software. Why? I mean, it's 2020. Because, and we're going to open them in a new tab to help them download. I'm going to open all of them and just talk while they're working. Why is it important to download these? Well, because Mmd was built to work with them. And your newest computer might have DirectX, but it's going to have a different version, and Mmd was not built to work with that version. The version it wants is these versions, and that's the ones we're going to get. This link right here, it works. It's going to take a minute though, because it's on Google Drive, but it will download eventually. And it's going to take a minute to download, and while it's downloading, let me just tell you about what kind of files these are. Mmd itself is a zip file. And while our DirectX is downloading, what can we do with Mmd? We can unzip it. Zip files are basically compressed files. They're compressed to save memory. If you have a kind of unzipper installed, then please use it to extract Mmd. You can delete the zip file after you're done. If you don't have an unzip installed, that's perfectly fine. I have a tutorial on my channel, just watch it, and then you'll understand. Now, the installation sequence of these three programs is important in my opinion. I already have this program downloaded twice now while doing other tutorials, but I would recommend installing DirectX first and then these two. At least on my system, that's the way it worked better. I don't know why, but these two wouldn't run until I installed DirectX. So, how to install it? It's an application. You don't really need anything special. You just need to click on it, agree to the license agreement, pick wherever it is you want to install it, in whatever folder. Now, I don't know why it wants to install in temporary. I don't really want it to go there because I don't want it to mess with my app data. I wanted to install it in program files. However, when I tried to do that yesterday, what it said was, no, those files just don't exist, and it didn't work. So I think the problem is that there's spaces between program and files, and it doesn't like spaces for some reason. I don't know why, but where I put it was in my user file, and it's worked just fine in there. It agrees with that path length. And so I said okay, and then start installation for me. For you, it's going to just do this cute little extraction sequence, and then once this sequence ends and it finishes unzipping all of these, then good for you. You're done. For me, because I already did all this, I don't want to rewrite my files. I'm just going to go down here and end this extractor. Now, having installed this, we're going to move on to these two programs. To install them, same thing. For some of us, it might do this weird thing. I don't know how to fix that, and it's done that for me, but if it works for you, I would install them just in case. For me, it's recommended you have them, but somehow Mmd worked for me without installing these, so I'm good. Alright. Try both of them to see if they run on your computer. This one, for example, installed. 2008 didn't, 2010 did. For you, it's going to run a download installation sequence. For me, because I already have it, I'm just going to say cancel. Yes. Now, having unzipped Mmd, I'm going to recommend that you move it out of your downloads to wherever it is you want to keep it for a while. This is important because once you have this program installed, if you rename it or move it anywhere from your desktop, for example, or from your downloads, then if you have any kind of motion saved, all your animations that you have saved, like for example me, and here in my user file I have an animation saved, it's a PMM file, and so basically I can open this program up with Mmd, And once I open it with Mmd, I can go back to wherever my program, I can go back and I can go back and edit my motion. However, if I moved any of my models from my computer during this time, then it wouldn't be able to find the models or the motion data I have, and that would be a problem. It would tell me, hey, where's your model? Hey, where's your motion? And you would have to retell it where all those things are. That's a pain. So I recommend you name your Mmd something you're not going to change. You put it in a place where you're not going to change it, and you just keep it there. For me, it's going to stay on my desktop forever. Now, if Mmd launched for you after this tutorial, then that's wonderful. I congratulate you. You're done and you can use it. You can watch my other tutorials to see how to use it. However, if you had any of the following Mmd errors, which includes side-by-side configuration error, missing DLL error, and a long error that ends in 43, then please watch my other videos. I have tutorials on how to solve those. Thanks for watching!